Hello YouTube and welcome to Synthetic Oil Info. My name is Tom Brown and in today's video we're going to talk about AMSOIL's European synthetic oil line. This line is specifically designed for the unique oil requirements of European high-performance vehicles, both gasoline and diesel powered, and it includes three different oils. The first one was the one I just had up there on the introduction video. It was a 5W30 Low-SAPS. And SAPS, by the way, stands for sulfated ash, phosphorus, and sulfur. And those are three chemicals or ingredients that are found in crude oil that have to be controlled in modern oils now because they tend to cause problems with emission control equipment on many of our newer vehicles. They were left in the oil in days gone by because they perform many lubricating and other functions very well, and because they're naturally occurring in the oil, we didn't have to add other expensive chemicals or additives to that oil because those chemicals or those pieces were already in there, the sulfated ash, phosphorus, and sulfur. But now, because these new vehicles have catalytic converters and other very sensitive emission control equipment on there, we have to start drastically reducing or eliminating those chemicals out of the oil, or when that oil is consumed through the normal combustion process. There's a very small amount of oil, a microscopic thin film of oil that adheres to the cylinder walls of the engine every time the piston moves up and down when the engine is running and the oil pump is pumping oil. So when the piston oil control ring scrapes down the side of the cylinder wall and tries to remove all of that oil, there's a very small microscopic thin film that gets left, and then the next time the engine combustion process occurs in that cylinder, that microscopic thin film of oil gets burnt. And it's not very much, but it is what causes most of the oil consumption in modern vehicles. It doesn't happen, it normally doesn't happen very fast. It's a very slow process. But that is why every once in a while, if you're running an extended drain interval with your vehicle, even using the top of the line best oils that AMSOIL has, you're going to have a little bit of oil consumption just because of that thin film of oil being burnt every time the piston travels up and down the cylinder wall. So when that oil gets burnt, there are obviously additives in that oil that get burnt along with the oil, the base oil, and the byproduct of that burning of that oil is the burning of these chemicals, sulfated ash, phosphorus, and sulfur, and the fumes created or the gases created from that burning travel down the exhaust system of the car into the catalytic converter, and that can cause a chemical reaction inside the catalytic converter with the material that is the active material that's inside that catalytic converter that is actually converting those exhaust gases into less harmful products and water that go out the tailpipe. So you don't want the catalytic converter, you don't want the life of that catalytic converter to be significantly shortened because you're running an oil that is basically polluting or killing the converter. So that's why the European car companies have specified some very unique and tight oil specifications that are in many cases mutually exclusive, meaning that if you meet one of these requirements, it's impossible for you to meet another requirement with the same oil because they're just chemically that much different that it makes it impossible for you to use one oil to cover a more than one of these requirements. So for example, on the 5W40 here, the Mid-SAPS, This covers the BMW LL4 and the Mercedes-Benz 229.51 and 229.31, covers the Porsche A40, and it covers the Volkswagen 502.00 and the 505.01. Now I know that sounds like a whole bunch of number gobbledygook, and for most of us who don't own a European car, it is. But if you're in the oil business like I am, or you own one of these European cars, if you don't know those numbers, you need to learn them, because if you pull into a quick lube place or anywhere else to have your oil changed, and the people that are working there don't understand those requirements, they can very quickly put in the wrong oil into your vehicle. And we're talking some pretty high dollar vehicles here. We're talking, BMWs, Mercedes, Porsches, Audis, Volkswagens. All of these vehicles have a very specific oil requirement, and many of them are different. And it's different even within the same manufacturer. So let's say you have a gasoline-powered Volkswagen and a diesel-powered Volkswagen in your garage. It's very possible that those two vehicles have a different oil spec depending upon when they were manufactured and what engine is in them. And so you can't just say, oh, well, this is a European oil, it's going to cover everything, because they won't. And so when you pull into someplace to have your oil changed, you need to understand and know what oil goes in there, and you need to ask and make sure that the people that are going to change your oil know what's going to go in there and that they actually put it in. Because the bulk oil that is in the big tank out back of their oil change place probably contains a very generic 5W30 or 10W30 bulk oil that probably does not meet the European spec. Because for one thing, a lot of these European specs are so high, meaning that they require a very high performing oil. It's very difficult for a conventional oil to meet these specifications. So a lot of people are already forced to use a synthetic oil to meet these specifications. That is exactly why AMSOIL came out with this line of oil, is to meet those specifications of those different European oil requirements. The 5W30, for example, the lowest viscosity in this family, at least the lowest viscosity for right now. I anticipate AMSOIL will probably be releasing something in the 20 weight range in the not too distant future, because they'll be forced to, because even the Europeans are going to drop down to that lower viscosity oil to save fuel. So this oil meets the BMW LL4 also, the Mercedes-Benz 229.51, the Porsche C30, and the Volkswagen 504.00 and 507.00. And then the 5W40 Full-SAPS, which means that it contains the most of those additives. It contains the most sulfated ash, phosphorus, and sulfur. It meets ASEA A3 and B3. It meets API SN and SM, so that's for your American cars. BMW LL1 as opposed to the BMW LL4 on the other ones. It also meets Mercedes 229.5 and 229.3. It meets Porsche A40, Renault 0710 and 0700, and it meets Volkswagen 502.00 and 505.00. Go to our website if you want to check those out, MinutemanPerformance.com. That'll link you to the AMSOIL website, and you can go in right in there in the automotive and light truck lookup guide and enter in all the information about your vehicle, your make and model, and what engine you have. And it'll tell you exactly which oil you need to be running in that car. And if you just want to double check, you can pull out your owner's manual and verify that, yep, my car calls for an oil that meets specification, whatever. It's going to be a combination usually of numbers and letters. But please don't put the wrong oil in your car. For one thing, if your car is still under warranty and you put the wrong oil in there and it creates a problem, that's always the part that most people forget. You can put if you put the wrong oil in your car and it does not create a problem, you have not voided your warranty. But if you put the wrong oil in there and it does create a problem, then the manufacturer of your vehicle or of your engine can pull that oil out, analyze it, find out that it doesn't meet the specification that they called for, and they can deny your warranty claim because you used the wrong oil. And when I say wrong oil, I mean oil that did not meet the specification that they had in your owner's manual. Not that you had to use their oil by name or that you had to use any particular oil by name. Unless they give you the oil for free, it is illegal for them under U.S. federal law for a manufacturer to require you to use their oil or any other particular name of oil unless they give it to you for free. But they can tell you what specification you have to meet. And so that's what all those numbers and letters on the back of that oil bottle tell you, is the specification for that oil. So again, we've got 5W30 Low-SAPS for the newest low viscosity requirements, and the 5W40 Mid-SAPS and the 5W40 Full-SAPS. The Full-SAPS is probably going to be found in most of your a little bit older cars, and the 540 Mid-SAPS and the 530 Low-SAPS is what you're going to find in most of your newer vehicles. Because as these cars get newer and newer, as we move down the road, we get more and more emission equipment on them that is sensitive to these three ingredients. And so that's why we have to continually keep reducing the amount of those ingredients that are in the oil. Go to our website, MinutemanPerformance.com, if you want to place an order. You can post your questions or comments down below. You can check us out on Facebook, please, at Synthetic Oil Info. Please like us there. Please subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, Synthetic Oil Info, and tell your friends and family about us. And please come back to us when you have questions or concerns about what oil you need to be using in your car, or if you have any other oil, lubrication, or filtration questions, and we will research those and get back with you just as soon as possible with an answer. If you are going to purchase AMSOIL products, and I sure hope you do, and you're going to purchase $100 of AMSOIL products or more in a year, then I encourage you to become a preferred customer with AMSOIL, and you can do that right on their website. You can just add that preferred customer membership to your shopping cart when you place your order, and that will allow you to buy that AMSOIL products at wholesale pricing. You're going to be able to buy them at the same price that I do as a dealer, and they'll ship them right to your house. UPS will bring them to your front door, and then either you can install the products yourself if you're a do-it-myself kind of person, or you can take it to your favorite installer and just say, hey, I need to get an oil change, or I need to get this service done, and I have my own oil or filters or gear lube or transmission fluid, whatever product you're putting in. And the vast majority of places have no problem with that. They have it happen all the time. People are very loyal to their particular brands, and if that place doesn't happen to carry your brand, it's not uncommon for people to come in with their own product, and they'll just charge you a labor fee, perform the service, dispose of your old oil and filter, and send you on down the road. And so don't feel like, oh, if I don't have this product, or if the guy who changes my oil doesn't carry this product, I can't get it, or I'm going to have to change installers. In the vast majority of cases, that is simply not true. Your installer is smart enough to know that even if he doesn't sell you the oil and filter, he wants your business for other service. So whether it's a wiper blade or a tire change, or any other service that you're going to want to have done on your vehicle, he wants you to bring that car back there. So he is not going to turn away your labor-only oil change just because you come in carrying AMSOIL. It also shows that you are a smart consumer and that you're concerned about taking care of your vehicle more than the average person, because you're willing to spend a little bit more money to use the very best products in your car, and you want to keep this car for a long time, and you want to reduce your repair bills and reduce your maintenance costs. And the best way to do that is by using AMSOIL oil and filters and other products in your vehicle to extend the life and reduce your cost. Again, our website, MinutemanPerformance.com, to place an order. Our email is info@MinutemanPerformance.com. Please, again, like us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube at Synthetic Oil Info. And that's it for now. We'll see you on the next video.